This Father's Day, do more with Dad and spend less with low prices guaranteed at the Home Depot. Get him fired up with a new grill and accessories, like the Next Grill 5-burner for just $299, so you can spend more time together while he becomes the grill master he was always meant to be. Or build memories with savings on top brand power tools so you can tackle projects side by side. Gift more and do more together this Father's Day with help from the Home Depot. Exclusions apply. See homedepot.com/price match for details.
You are tuned in to the Foul Weather Podcast, the forecast to your next successful hunt. Coming to you from the home office, Jack's Reef, New York.
Situated off the north shore of Oneida Lake sits Toad Harbor Taxidermy. Today we meet with avid duck hunter and taxidermist Matt Colesante. Matt focuses on realism in his mounts, separating his great mounts from just good mounts. I think those are words right off your webpage, which I love. I think that what you've got is that you know ducks well enough that you kind of know how they should sit, how they should look, how they should fly. But we also are sitting down, in addition to Matt, his father Rip, his son Connor. So we're in his shop talking waterfowl taxidermy, tricks and tips to getting good mounts to your taxidermist, and his evolution and love for ducks up to a premier taxidermist of the region. But also I want to talk to Rip. I want to talk to Connor. Connor works in the shop. Rip was a aquatic.
I got my degree was in wildlife biology, by the way.
Okay.
And I ended up spending 40 years in fisheries. And
In fisheries, okay. Working for the Department of Environmental Conservation for New York. So.
But I've been an avid duck hunter for my whole life.
Yeah, so we got 3 generations here, I think.
Yep.
Pretty darn cool. So, Matt, Rip, Connor, welcome to the Foul Weather Podcast. Somebody say thank you.
Thank you.
I'm just going to leave that in there.
Nice to be here.
First of all, I kind of want to talk about what I'm seeing in the shop. You've got a lot of mounts here. You got definitely a lot of waterfowl, other game birds. But, so how do you end up, Matt, how do you end up with all this stuff in your shop specifically? Is it like things that you shot? Is it stuff that people left? Because there's lots of nice deer. Looks like you got exotic pheasants. I mean, you got a little bit of everything in here.
I'm a collector. So I'm looking for the odd stuff. And all my birds came from my father, my brother, or my 2 boys. I don't really take many birds off of other people, so they're pretty much whatever we shot over the last 30, 40 years is what's in here.
So this is all your stuff. What about like there's a lynx behind you, I think, right?
Yes, I got that from Alaska.
Yeah.
So I buy most of my furs off Facebook. Facebook, and I talk to the people, and they send them to me in the mail.
Okay.
They're all sealed and everything.
Yeah. So you're sealed, and so you're collecting this stuff. So this is kind of like your museum.
Yeah.
In general.
This is people call it the best man cave they've been in. So I mean,
it's pretty awesome.
If you're into that stuff, you know.
Yeah. I came in, I think, last fall to pick up my bird, and there was. I mean, you had decoys outside and stuff, so you kind of transition from, duck hunting in the morning to working in the afternoon in the fall, I'm guessing.
It's busy in here.
I mean, you've got an insane collection, though. Do you have a favorite in here?
I have 55 gadwalls mounted.
That's what I was seeing. It's like there's whole families of gadwalls in here.
I'm into gadwalls, which they're hard to get. They're one of the hardest birds to get. If you look at how many we take in a year, it's very hard to get gadwalls.
Around here.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. For other folks, it's not too big of a deal.
Down south, they're more, but they're very difficult to get. And they're the hardest bird to hunt, I think, too.
Really?
Yeah. Because once they get onto you, they're hard to get.
Yeah.
The first day you'll get them all day long, but then once they start hearing the shooting, they smarten up quicker than anything else.
They figure your stuff out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you always hear them, that meet call,
yeah.
And they sound, that sound travels an insane distance.
Yeah, you think they're right on.
And they're like, feel like they're right on top of you, and they're like, you're like, where is it? It's this little tiny speck in the sky, right? So, Rip, do you think, like, Matt's younger years, is this, it's the family thing. What got him into the duck hunting?
Well, I was duck hunting, and he came along with me.
Yeah.
So did his brother, and I've always had a blind on Oneida Lake since 1976, and it's right on a good point, and they were shooting ducks down there when they weren't legally able to, because of the license register things. But,
Yeah.
so they've been hunting ducks all that time, and I think I just threw out the first bird he ever mounted. It was a bufflehead. I wish I said. Did I say that?
I don't know.
I still might have it. I don't know. But I was doing taxidermy too.
Yeah,
'cause
I've learned from him. I learned
he
from
got,
him. Yeah.
He got, so second, well, we're in 3 generations
Yeah.
of taxidermy.
Connor's
then,
I
too.
think, gonna take the torch here as soon as I retire.
But he-
But you're
Hopefully
only
soon.
like 50 maybe?
56.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
want to work. He retired at 57, so
from the state.
From
from the
yeah.
state, yeah. But I don't want to work too much longer myself, but
It's a lot.
yeah.
Is it the hands?
No,
the
it's not the
taxidermy?
hands. It's just
It's the hands at my age.
yeah.
I'll tell you that. It's the hands
Yeah.
at my age. But he hasn't got there yet. But
Right.
it gets to be a problem.
It's hard to do my stuff, because you're always doing other people's stuff, But that's normal. That's part of the game.
Right.
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 I have a freezer full of my stuff that I'd like to do, but
How many months out usually is work? Like from when you get it to when you can complete it?
go ahead, Connor.
It's about 6 to 8 months. We usually try to get between like 4.5 and 5 seems about the number.
Yeah.
And birds are supposed to come, and this is something for listeners, honestly. Like, this is good information for them, because I think a lot of people, you can look it up, but you probably see birds come in that aren't properly taken care of. Like, oh, I've
Yeah.
had this in my freezer for 3 months. Like, if somebody really cares about it, I think it comes in fine, and they've
Right.
looked it up. But what is the way they should come in most of the time?
Well, if you're going to bring it in within a year, you can just put in a good Ziploc, 2-gallon Ziploc bag,
Okay.
and freeze it. But if you're gonna leave it in your freezer for 3 to 4 years, you're going to wrap the feet and the bill with a wet paper towel, and then put it in a bag, and it'll last for 3 to 5
Oh,
years.
so I always thought, like, no matter if I however I freeze it, I need to wrap like the bill and the feet.
if you're gonna
in wet paper
if you're gonna
towel.
bring it in within a year, it'll be fine in a bag.
As long as it's not one of like those old man cave like freezer fridge
Yeah,
things that
those ones that
aren't that have all the frost in them.
Yeah.
Those are problematic, probably.
No,
right?
you want the one. You want frost-free freezers.
Right,
Frost.
right.
Not.
Yeah.
No, you want frost freezers that aren't frost-free.
The ones that have the ice in
Oh.
it.
Aren't.
That
Those
have the
they'll
ice in it.
last forever.
They last longer
because there's
in them.
moisture in the freezer.
Really?
The
Yeah.
ones that
Okay.
the
I
ones
wouldn't
that
have known
zap they'll be gone.
They
in
just
a year
dry
and a
it
half.
out too
Dry it
much?
out quick.
But
Really?
the other thing you got to remember too
Huh.
is if you're bringing that bird to Matt and Connor, they're going to turn that bird around in 4 or 5 months. If you bring it to Joe Schmo down here, it might take him 3 years to get that bird mounted.
Right.
So that bird,
It's gonna
that's
be
why
sitting for 3 more years.
it's sitting
Yeah.
for 3 years in his freezer. So that's why it's even more important to have that thing wrapped properly. If you're going to take it to a guy that's going to take years to get it out, and a lot of these taxidermists today are taking years to get that bird mounted.
Yeah, they're definitely years out.
Do you have to turn people away because you're overrun, or not really? Is it just like consistent enough? Like it's a good flow.
Like I'm like last week I took in 10 birds, which is crazy at this time of year. They're just they had them in their freezer.
Yeah.
They want to get them done now. So I take them year round, but if I start getting close, I start slowing down, taking birds in. But
Yeah.
because I'm not going to buy more freezers. So Oh, what was that? Oh,
I have I told you I was getting bit. There was
Yeah.
something crawling around in my shirt. It was like a little sweat bee or something.
Oh.
Hopefully it's not a critter that's going to eat your mounts.
No.
It didn't. Well, that's a problem. How do you keep stuff out of these? Are they preserved well enough, or do you have?
I use borax in there, and
Yeah.
that's an agent that keeps bugs out.
Yeah.
So
Well, because when we bring stuff into the Roosevelt Wildlife Collection at ESF, they go right into a like -40, -80
Oh, really?
When you
for
bring the
anything new.
Any
new
dead
mounts.
bird or
Yeah.
Any new
mount.
mounts. Yeah, just because they can bring stuff in with them. Yeah. Any dead stuff that comes in too goes in there. Like if we're gonna use it for class or anything.
that kills everything off.
Yeah.
-40.
You leave it in for 2 weeks and it's done. Yeah, I don't
I
know
did a
how it
lot of-
affects a mount though. Like if you brought one off your wall and put it in a -80 for 2 weeks,
It wouldn't do anything. I don't.
Shouldn't.
Think. No.
shouldn't.
I did a lot of work at that Roosevelt Wildlife Collection when I was going to school there with Al Marsters. That was,
Yeah.
he was before your time.
Yeah.
They certainly wouldn't were putting that stuff in the freezer then.
You should right. Well, and you should see the domestic beetles and things we ended up with and stuff
Yeah,
after some
yeah.
time. But you haven't been to the new Gateway building, and Ben, you should just come to that museum and see it.
I've been to Illical, and I've been upstairs, but it was when Connor was going there.
Connor went there. He was.
I toured
the new modern one.
a couple on my freshman orientation. Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that Illical or no?
No, that's Gateway. It's a brand new building. It's like before Gateway.
See, I haven't
It's
seen
all
that.
big wood beams, and it's a great space, and the collection is. I mean, there's a lot of science going on there now. It's well taken care of. I mean, the cabinets are fantastic. The environmental control is great compared to what Illick was. Right, that was rough. So we're actually remodeling that now. But Matt, a little bit more on the evolution from your dad starting to teach you taxidermy to where you are now. Understanding that that's a
Yeah.
long story, right?
It is. I mean, I learned from him. He learned from a book, so he struggled probably when he tells me stories. He struggled at first, and then he's an old school taxidermist. This guy is the old school guy. And
So what does that mean? What does that mean? Let me
Just
stop you,
everything
like-
is like everything is old school. Everything was done correct, but it's
I make my own bodies.
Yeah.
I use my own head.
he's old school on everything like
just
that.
a lot of technology today is not that same way.
Right. So just tons of art, your own bodies, your own heads.
Everything,
Yeah.
he's natural. And then I got into it, and I wanted to get better and better, so I started going to these shows.
He belonged to New York State Taxidermy. So.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I won the
Yeah.
best bird in New York State
For years
like
he was
years and years and
winning.
years at Division of Excellence. So I was at the highest
So
level.
lots of
there.
ribbons.
Lots of ribbons, lots of best birds. But I kind of got out of that when the kids got older. I just got out of it. I just didn't go back. I was in it for probably 15 years, and I started in the professional division. I won that, and then I won all the masters, and then I started winning all the Division of Excellence. And I learned. That's how you learn. That's how you become better than the old school way. You learn all the new ways, and then
From
your
kind of
birds
like,
look
is it like a group of people that share their information with you that you.
Yeah, I mean,
work
if you're going,
with?
they grade it. They grade your
Yeah.
work. So the minute someone is grading your work, he's going to tell you what's wrong with it, and then that's how you can change. That's how you can get better.
It's like when I sit down with students and say,
Same idea.
"Stop
Yeah.
doing that and start doing this."
That's If you want to win, that's what you got to
Well,
do.
and duck hunting wise too, it's got to go that way as well. Like it
Absolutely.
takes a long time to. So then, like, I want to hear Rip say, "What did you teach Matt?" Do you think? And then I want to hear Matt say what he thought he learned for duck hunting.
What did I teach Matt about duck hunting?
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
No one goes to Hank's for his spreadsheets. They go for a darn good pizza. Lately, though, the shop's been quiet, so Hank decides to bring back the $1 slice. He asks Copilot in Microsoft Excel to look at his sales and costs and help him see if he can afford it. Copilot shows Hank where the money's going and which little extras make the dollar slice work. Now Hank has a line out the door. Hank makes the pizza, Copilot handles the spreadsheets. Learn more at m365copilot.com/work.
the one thing that I think I taught him is that what the birds did yesterday is the same thing the birds are going to do today.
That's true.
They pattern.
They do what
They
they
pattern.
did yesterday. They're going to do today.
They lived
So
yesterday, so they're going to live. They're going to try to live.
They're going to
today.
try to do the same,
same thing the next day. So if you're watching them yesterday, you should be able to go hunt them today, the next day, and
And get them on that same spot.
but that's one thing.
But not always. But not always. You can watch them and do the same thing tomorrow, right? But how many days in a row can you do it?
You probably won.
Yeah, it's a one-time deal.
I tell you, my secret is driving around with everything in my truck with a dog, a coffee, and a breakfast sandwich at midday, and watching where birds want to be.
Yeah.
and hunting them immediately, not waiting till tomorrow. Because if I'm seeing it, somebody else is
Oh,
too.
so
If 400
today-
birds are going into a spot,
Yeah.
just go.
You can get 'em,
Just
yeah,
go.
definitely.
And it's one day, because if you don't do it, everybody else sees it. And they're all doing it the next day. I don't know how many times my wife duck hunts too. She works for Ducks Unlimited. And what was it? Christmas Day a few years ago. And we just took the dogs for a run somewhere. Oh, Whiskey Hollow. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's
Down near Tully or something?
no, it's up by us. It's Central New York Land Trust owns it, but there's a well there, and we get our water from it because our house water, it's drinkable, but it sucks, right? So we're filling big carboys of water, but it was a wet, rainy Christmas morning, and I'm like, and there's ducks in puddles everywhere. I'm like, I think we should drive over to X and look at it. She goes, well, just drive over. I'm like, no, we should load the whole entire truck and bring a dog. And we went over there, and we had one of the best shoots we've ever had. Place had 1,000 birds going into
Oh,
it.
really? Yeah.
And as we were walking in to set up, trucks were going by on Christmas morning looking at it.
Yeah, yeah.
They were
And
gonna go
then-
the next day.
They were going the next day, but I'm like, nope, let's just go shoot this duck.
Well, that makes good sense. If you see it happening right then, you should go take care of it right then,
Yeah.
especially if you have no control over the site, you know.
Well, I'm a public land hunter
Yeah,
almost
so are we.
100%. So,
So are we.
but Matt, anything other than that, like things you learned from Dad that
He
are
learned how to
different?
set decoys from me.
Yeah,
He's just gonna take. He's taking all the credit.
he is one of the best shots I've ever seen. But that's passed by now to me.
You
know.
got bifocals and everything
No,
like
Matt's
that.
a great
he,
shot.
no, he is.
No?
He's up there in shots, but I'm like, that's what I do. So
Yeah.
hate to say it, but there's a few things I do well, and shooting a shotgun is one of them.
Do you shoot close or do you pop them when you can get them?
We get him as close as we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
We tend to be selective in what we shoot.
yeah. I'm all. I can tell what any bird is before it comes in.
He's the best person that
You stare at these things enough
I
as you're
know.
mounting them, and you
I
can
know
tell what
exactly
they are.
what the bird is. I
He's
know if it's a
unbelievable
drake
at
or
identifying
female. I
birds.
could tell you what. I could see a canvasback out in the middle of the lake, and I could tell you that's a canvasback.
Yeah.
Just the way it flies. It's the way it
It's
flies.
the way it flies.
Gadwalls fly a certain way. Mallards fly a certain way. Wood ducks, you can see. You know, it's very easy. But I've been doing it for 40 years.
Yeah.
But that's how you become good at something, if you can identify what the bird is before you shoot.
because lots of, I can remember I was hunting. We got set up with a car rash. They called me
I
up.
feel bad I'm making you guys drink by yourself.
No.
So.
One of the guys from the hatchery called up and said there was a bunch of bluebills up on Sandy Pond, and we went up. This was the coldest day that I ever
Oh,
hunted.
So,
we
so
just-
here's the thing. That Sandy Pond is a public area. It's gone way downhill
Yeah.
over the years. But one of the things we're going to do, like when I said, my wife and I went to X, like one of the things we're not going to do is, because there's thousands and thousands of people listen to this, so we're not going to talk about areas too much.
Is it four?
So-
Come on in.
Well, anyway, he said he saw a bunch of bluebills out in Sandy Pond. And
Yeah.
It was wicked late in December. I forget what the deal was. We went up there. It was just brutal weather.
Huh.
Out there in a boat, floating on these bluebills, and they were golden eyes. But I mean, that just doesn't happen, normally. It's
Right.
with us, we know what the hell we're gonna shoot.
Right.
We're out there. I can still shoot a shotgun, but I can't see the birds like I used to.
So, yeah. Well, I was, like, turkey hunting this year. I have a pair of transition lenses that are more long distance, and then I got my bifocals. And my bifocals, I can't, in the early light, if a turkey comes down, I had
Yeah.
a giant bird in front of me, and I just
200.
couldn't get a beat on it. And it's an age thing, and I'm not going to mess up a great hunt with a bird that I can't see, So.
I've dealt with it. I haven't had to deal with it with hunting yet because I still see well enough to shoot a duck when it's over the decoys, and that's when we'd like to shoot them. But with softball, I play softball, so does Matt. But I have to wear. This is the first year I've had to wear glasses all the time.
Really, to see
And,
the ball.
so it's I haven't got my cataracts aren't bad enough.
That's not bad. You're what, a couple days over 60 maybe, or what are you?
80.
There you go. You're in
And
great
I-
shape, so you're fine.
I paid my, I'm pretty happy where I am.
You should
But
be,
I'll tell you,
yeah.
wearing glasses in a sport, any activity is bothersome for me because I never had to do it.
What's your secret? Because at 80, you're looking pretty damn good shape.
I don't have a secret other than my mother. I think
Just good genes.
good genes.
Make sure it goes
Yeah.
through.
That's what I think. So Matt won a lot of ribbons, and he got really good at what he does. But he has an artistic ability that I don't have.
If it doesn't.
His
go
mother
through, shoot me
is kind of an artist. She's a great painter,
I appreciate it.
Yep, thank
and she's a really good painter. And he's got that touch, and so does Connor. I don't have it. That's why I think his birds are as good as they are because of that artistic touch.
Yeah, well, my mom plays a saxophone, and I can't play a single lick of music. I sing my heart out in the truck when I'm driving around because I love music.
Yeah.
I know my family gave me that, but I couldn't ever play an instrument, so it's good that got passed on.
Yeah, these are.
Those are Connor's
Ones that
bills.
we paint.
He's Connor's.
Like that's
way
a Hun
Yeah.
Woody. That's a Hun Drake Woody.
Now, you guys hand paint your
that's
bills, which a lot of people airbrush.
Right.
So why don't you airbrush it? So they're just so you guys know, they're showing me painted, basically heads, the
I don't
plastic heads with painted bills on
With
them.
oil.
When
Oil
I was
paint.
in
Oil
my,
paint, okay.
when I
Yeah.
was in my shows, I had people coming up to me saying, "How do you paint that with oils that good?"
They defied him. You can look at one of the birds. Oh, it's gone.
They can't. You can't tell. I'd go up against anybody with an airbrush bill compared to what I can do with paint.
And what is typical though for how to paint? Is it airbrush or is
Well, they
it, what
airbrush
is
and
it?
then they use pastels, which is you could pastels it and it kind of fades it a little bit, so it looks really good. But I put a lot of time into my bills. I can put in. You could put a lot. It's like painting a picture. You know, you could put layers, and because they're like, you're better than any fish guy in here on your bills. Because he goes, how do you get the layers? I go, well, I'm sitting in a chair and I just put layers and layers, and you can see through the layers. You put it on there, and then you take it off, and then you leave it. I mean, you can really layer a bill and have it look.
It's not
You
like we
can't
didn't
tell.
try airbrushing.
Right.
We've got a lot of
you can't get
airbrushes
that.
that are in the
Yeah.
junk pile.
You can't get that with that look.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It's interesting because I think airbrushing is now the most common. Is it
Yeah,
not?
I'm sure it could be faster. It could be whatever it is, but they used to say, well, when I went to the shows, you should use an airbrush, and then the next year they're like, you should just use oils. You have different. I'm like, well, I'm done with this. I'm not.
Just do what you want to do.
I'm gonna
right?
do what I'm gonna do.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break, so please stick with us to hear about how last season went down for Matt, Rip, and Connor, and I guess some of your favorite maybe taxidermy jobs over the last year or maybe of all time. My friends across duck country, time to step up your calling with Beckman Game Calls. These beauties sound like a duck. Just have a listen. First, a real hen mallard, and then the Edison in the flooded timber of Arkansas. Beckman Game Calls with a lot of new colors and woods coming soon. Both the Edison and the Groundbreaker calls are adjustable to your air pressure, and the Groundbreaker is the first adjustable cut down on the market. Check out Beckman Game Calls today at beckmangamecalls.com.
I should have brought my diary.
Oh, we'd be here all month.
No, just for last year. I mean,
Oh, you keep a book.
I've
That's good.
kept a book since 1976.
Yeah, I don't because I want my memory to be organic. I really don't want to.
I can't wait to
I
hear the
don't-
rest of this story. Go ahead.
I just don't want. I don't like keeping a book. I really don't.
Well, how about-
my whole life is science and keeping data, so I want my personal life to just be something that's just it flows and it's fine. And I forget about hunts and I remember hunts but you definitely the thing is you forget about this you only remember the good hunts.
No, that's not true. I remember some of the bad ones. Trust
Well,
me.
because the boat flipped over.
Well, no, not necessarily that. But I can tell you right now that what happens is that they run in together. You might, I dealt in data my entire life too. I did mostly research for the state when I worked for them.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, after you've been hunting as long as I've been hunting, they run in together, and it's hard to separate one from the other. But his memory is still strong. He'll tell you everything you need to know about last year. I was with him almost all the time, and I wouldn't be able to tell you. I wouldn't, because it runs in.
It just blends in.
Blends in.
Yeah.
I can probably pick out the best hunt we had last year. It would have been the ice hole shoots, the 2 ice hole shoots. And I can probably think of a worst hunt that we had.
All right, and we're back with Matt Colesante, Rip, his dad, and his son Connor at Toad Harbor Taxidermy. Looking to hear about how last season went down. So, Matt, do you want to start? It's your shop, so I'm going to give you the main bill in here.
It was a drought. Last year was the worst drought I've ever seen in my life, and a lot of our swamps around here were dry, and there was no wood ducks. And the mallards really stayed away too. So the first part of the season was the worst I've seen, and it gradually got better, but it's still one of the worst seasons I've seen last year. And then we were kind of really waiting for the cold weather, which finally got here, and we thought we'd have a really good diver season at the end, and the divers just didn't cooperate. They were out in the middle of the lake, they weren't on the shorelines, and we didn't really, I thought we were going to have a really great diver season, and it just never panned out. I mean, it was probably an average season to below average, but
In terms of numbers, it was average.
it was average. So
For killing, it
Yeah.
was average.
and I'm not a numbers guy. I'm more of a quality guy. So I'm looking for special birds. So
Good hunts, yeah.
yeah, I'm looking for, I'm more happy if I get a good mounting duck.
Yeah.
I only need one, or I'd like to get a couple, and it's that's what I'm looking for. And there wasn't really many there. There wasn't.
Tell them about Montezuma.
Montezuma was bad for adult birds.
Yeah.
For me, I mean,
Yeah.
you can go there and shoot your green-winged teal, and you can shoot your great birds, but for me, the adult birds weren't there, and that's
That's been a couple of years.
That's been 2 or 3 years that the adult birds haven't been there, and that's the reason why. People say it's still a great hunt, but I don't look at it that way. I look at it.
So what do you think if adult birds aren't there? What
I don't know
are they
what's
blowing
going on.
by, or?
That's
I'll tell
what
you one thing we think happens. The gadwalls, for example, which is Matt's favorite duck.
Mm-hmm.
We know for a fact that the adult gadwalls migrate first.
Yeah.
Early in the year, and they're coming through New York State around October 20th, plus or minus 5 days.
Uh-huh.
Those adult birds are with gadwalls. And the last 2 years, there's been no water down at Montezuma. I think those.
So there's
birds
no aquatic vegetation
Right.
which they feed on. The widgeon have not been there either.
No, they haven't.
They've been
That's
just absent.
one of my
completely.
biggest
It might be the
worries.
same reason.
It is. They eat that aquatic veg, and if it isn't there, they're
Yeah.
just going to move on. Yeah. It rotates too. Like the drought didn't help, but there's times when, Shocky Pool at the refuge, you couldn't step out of your canoe,
Yeah.
and it's loaded, right? Like they'll stop and they'll stay there when there's a lot of that stuff around for sure. And on a drought year, you're just not going to get them at all.
Yeah, that's totally. I understand the droughts, but
There was no way to recover that last year.
I think-
And then sometimes they do things where they've got management stuff to do, like a new water control structure or whatever, so they have to get stuff dry. And then by the time season comes, they just can't get it back on. They've got to, they're doing construction type stuff on berms and other things. So that happened in Kipps Island a few years ago as well. But Connor, your season last year, did you get out enough?
Probably 3 days a week, 3-4 days a week.
That's horrible. I wish I
mean-
could do that. Good for you.
It was good. We went hunting for a bunch of different things: woodcock, rails. We did Montezuma. a couple
Wait! I gotta
days.
stop you at rails.
oh, we love rails.
I mean, don't tell anybody where you go, because you, me, and 3 other people are all the rail hunters probably in New York State. To
don't
be
know.
fair. But
Kinda
so
shy.
gallinules mostly, or what are you
No.
after?
Well, we hit the
Like-
three-peat. We did the gallinules, the rails, snipe,
Yeah.
Or Virginia rails and sword rails.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we hit all 4 of them.
Nice.
So
That's awesome.
That's my September season.
That's fun.
I don't go after the geese. I don't like shooting the geese. We go after the rails. There's nothing better.
I love it.
You got.
I love it,
you
and
gotta
I'm not.
be slow.
I'm not even asking where you do it because.
We're not going to tell you.
Well, so my story later on, I had in the script here, but I'll do it now. Was I was rail hunting on September 1st,
Right.
and your brother, it's Mark, right?
Yep.
He's a environmental conservation officer. I call them fish cops.
Yeah,
It's
we call 'em
derogatory.
squirrel cops.
It's squirrel
Yeah, we call 'em
cops.
squirrel
It's all derogatory. But no, the environmental conservation officers in New York are top notch. I mean, New York State troopers and econ are as good as it gets, I think, as far as laws enforcement. And your brother's fantastic at it. And I've known him for years from having permits to do research and banding and just running into him. I think youth hunt stuff maybe at Montezuma. But he was out patrolling for early goose season. And I had hunted one unit and I had probably like 4 or 5 gallinals in my kayak. And I pulled over a berm, went into another one. And I've worked at in this wetland a lot, and I should know where the ditches are. But it was, again, drought year, so I thought it was all like ankle deep. And I stepped out, and there was no bottom.
Oh yeah, that happened to us.
And so my foot's in the kayak,
Oh yeah.
and I went ass over tea kettle because with I shoot a 20 gauge over under with full chokes and obviously steel shot for rails, and I dunked everything. And so the only thing I could do was I recovered. I got, the gun I never let go of the gun. And I could still stand up, but it was the fact that I was a leg in the kayak and I completely dunked myself. So I got everything in, but I stripped right down and I'm walking in my sock. I get out and I see a econ truck go by and I'm like, oh man, I hope this isn't somebody I know. And I'm walking on the berm in my socks and pants and stuff, just soaked. And he pulls up and he's like, I thought that was you. What are you doing? I'm like, well, I'm obviously tipping over my kayak today. So it's one of those, you hope you don't run into anybody you know because you know your way around. But anyhow.
At least the water's still warm.
It was fine. I mean, I've wet waded and shot rails before, right? Which works really, really well, by the way. So
The highlight
but
of my
sorry, keep going. I stole
well,
your thunder.
let me give you the rest of the story. The highlight of my season last year was Mark and I the 4 of us were hunting, and Mark and I, we split up. We were in 2 canoes, and we were done hunting, and we were at Montezuma, and we were coming around. Mark and I are coming around the berm, or coming around this slot, and we're heading towards where these guys are, just in time to watch them capsize the canoe.
What time of year?
It was November, at least
No,
November.
it was October. Well,
Well, anyway, it wasn't
Late
it wasn't
October.
frigid because they were able to tolerate it. He could tell you how it happened because I was still a little ways away from there, but it was fun to watch. And I think he went in pretty good.
I flew him right out of the
Yeah,
front.
he went
So
in.
Connor
He was
went
done.
in.
I went face first. And
Yeah.
I had 3 feet of water in my boots. Or waders.
Yeah.
That's the first
We had
time.
we had ruddy ducks down, so it was
And my
worth it.
phone
was
was gone
important.
too.
Right there. They're up there, those 2. A super mature pair.
That's a nice set of Ruddies
Yeah,
from New
we-
York. Yeah. Wow.
We were shooting a bunch of coot. There was a flock of 50, and they all flew. And then there was a flock of 7 ruddies.
7 ruddies.
And
6
we
straight,
start
1
paddling
head.
super
Ruddies, that's
fast.
great. Yeah.
And they jump and do a whole 90 180 turn of 7. And I laid down straight, and he just started opening fire at him. And we dropped 3, and then we were chasing him because there was 1 cripple, and he's like, "Oh, we can just pick it up." And then the thing dove under the boat, and he jumps out. There's no water.
There's no bottom.
No bottom.
He jumps back in, grabs it, pulls the whole boat over.
Because I
I go
going up.
face first in.
I see Connor just.
We
go,
were watching. Mark and I were watching.
This
it,
is
so
why we're
sure.
on the phone with them, and they're coming across. And so I lost my phone. It was in the bottom of my boot
Yeah.
with the water. No idea where it was, but
That's a great story.
Yeah.
But to have them on the wall after
Yeah,
that.
they were those we target.
You
those.
don't, because you don't see them very often.
No.
At all.
They migrate through first weekend of November.
Yeah.
First week in November they're coming through.
What type of water do you find them on? I'm not asking where. What type?
They're big water. They're on Oneida Lake. They're on Oneida Lake, and they're in swamps, big swamps. So they're
You got it with open water.
yeah, open
Yeah.
water.
Yeah. Now, you talked about mature ducks not coming through. I'm looking for, because you did my blueing mount from South Carolina. Beautiful, beautiful bird. And you did a great job with it. That was like a single pellet. I barely killed the dang thing. So it was
That's
in
the
good
best
it was in good
mounts,
shape for mounting. But like green wings, I just like really sharp green wing males. Do you get them very often?
Well, through here, we don't ever get really good green wingers. You
Well,
have
I shot one of the best green wingers I ever saw at Montezuma.
Yeah, that's
Wow, look at that.
That's a full adult last year from Oneida. Ontario or
Onondaga.
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 You
Yeah,
can get
someone
those
gave it to
gorgeous.
us. But
but they're kind of rare in New York, but you can get them.
You got to get them real late because that's kind of
yeah.
where it's a prize. Like I got a dead mount of that blue wing, and I want a green wing dead and a cinnamon. And I'm thinking like the cinnamon's gonna be the hardest one, but if I go pay for it and I get a guide and go somewhere, or call in a favor to podcast listeners
Yeah.
to get a cinnamon hunt, that might be easier than actually shooting a prime green wing in New York. And that's
Well,
kind
in
of
New
what I
York,
want
yeah.
on that mount. Dead mount is a prime.
You
New
can
York
get
green
one.
wing.
You can
Yeah.
get one.
You just gotta work
You
for
got to you got to look in the winter. You know, in that second season on Cayuga Lake,
Late.
they're rare there. Or I'm telling you, that one that I shot, it's the best. I've got it mounted at home. It's the best green winger I ever shot, and that was not in December. That was in November.
If you shoot a
At
3-year-old
Montezuma.
bird, you have to shoot a 3-year-old bird to
It was
have
at
a
Montezuma.
super bird. If you shoot a 3-year-old bird in October, even late October, it's going to be a super green winger. Super.
We
But it's got to
people-
be 3+.
It's got to be an older bird.
Yeah.
Can't be this year's. Can't be the second year. It's got to be 3+. Everything's 3+. If you really want to get a super mount, super bird, 3+.
3+ years.
And
Yeah.
it'll be ready second week in November. You could put it on the wall and you'll be amazed. Even a shoveler. If you get a 3-year-old shoveler, you won't even have a fleck in its chest. I mean, that's how good.
But
they
there's
can
just
be.
not many of those out there in the population
No,
in general.
they don't.
Right.
They come through early October, but it's very, very hard to find a 3-year-old bird anywhere.
And they're smart.
Yeah, and
right.
they're smart.
They've gone through it already.
Yep.
Connor, you talked about rails. I want to talk to you about that more, both of you off the record here, because I don't want to give away secrets too much. But
Mark's already told us your secret, by the way.
Yeah.
Where you were hunting.
I don't have any
I'm
secrets.
just kidding.
I don't have any secrets. I go where everybody
If
else
Mark
goes.
saw you down there and he saw that you were soaking wet and you had a dead rail in there,
He's gonna
we
tell
heard-
you
we heard
guys
about
already
it.
heard about it. That's good. Those marshes change a lot though too. Like it shifts on what one you should be in each year. So right now I don't even know where I would go. There's just not a good one. Other critters you guys chase? Deer, turkeys, woodcock, grouse much?
Woodcock. We're heavy in
Woodcock.
He shot this woodcock.
Yeah,
Shot a woodcock.
it was. So it was over at this place, and they make. They were doing random management cuts where they cut an opening, and they
Yeah.
were talking about how it's for woodcock habitat, and they didn't believe it.
Have you seen him?
And we started walking up, and it jumped like a foot in front of me and flew right in the middle of the open spot,
That's gorgeous.
and I just dusted it.
That's the hardest bird.
So
there is
right,
to
like
mount.
this is actually literally like New York State Department of Environmental Conservation
Pure luck.
did management.
Pure luck.
yeah.
Yeah.
But,
That's the hardest
actually-
bird to
and
mount.
then it was still running. I had to
Tough.
jump on
The
it.
hardest bird right there.
Hardest bird to mount is a woodcock.
Oh,
Why?
yeah, because
It-
the feathers just fall
the-
out looking at them.
When you look at them,
The skin is like
Yeah.
tissue paper. You
Tissue
can see
paper.
through
not
it.
like a pigeon.
Pigeon are easy
Are they
compared
really?
to these.
Really?
Oh,
You can see through the skin on them.
yeah, they
Already.
just
So
you can't even skin them.
the holes
without.
just
He
show
shot. He hit one bullet in that bird.
Yeah, hit in the wing, and then there was a mark on its back, but it got
But it was
co-
dead.
The back got covered. I grabbed it alive.
It was
Oh, did
running.
you?
Yeah,
It started running. Even
How'd
though-
you? How just neck? Squeeze it. Yeah.
that's the only one we
Yeah.
saw last year.
Yeah, no.
Really. That's the only one we saw. How many hours do you think you put in woodcock?
Well, I used to put in miles and miles and miles because I
Dog?
don't have a
Dog
dog. I
or-
don't have a dog,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we gotta jump them, which is very.
We did like
difficult.
5 days last year, couple
Yeah.
hours, but
Never get one.
we always squeeze our birds. No tool.
No tool.
You should see the we've had that tool the bird like 4 times, so there's 4 holes in the back of its head, and they're like, "Gotta get this mounted," and you're like,
Are you just like lung squeezing them type thing, or what do you do?
Squeeze. If you're hunting ducks, you sit on them.
So they can't breathe.
Yeah.
The best thing we
You
have.
don't want
ever
to tool them. If you're gonna mount them, don't tool them.
Don't tool them.
Don't tool
That's a good one. The tool that's like the what's it called?
It's called the tool.
A finisher.
Oh, yeah,
Finisher.
It goes in the
Yeah,
back
yeah.
of their skull.
So
It's a
the
giant
one
hole.
duck. So I did research on longtails, buffleheads, and golden eyes on Lake Ontario. We had a permit. We shot 750 birds from December 20th to March over 2 years.
Why didn't we get any of those?
Yeah.
Well, they're all
Summer
dissected, and there were
longtails.
like 360 measurements from every bird.
I want one of those old squaws in March. They turn color, you know. It's the
We never got them that
Oh.
way. They were all the
White ones then?
They were all the
Oh,
winter
winter.
plumage
Yeah.
still. But the squeeze method on a longtail duck, because they dive to 90, 100 foot of
Probably
water
pretty
and can
tough.
hold their breath. You could, because we were trying to do it because we needed all the measurements. So if you wring their neck, you lose body length, right? If you crush the skull, you lose. There's lots of different measurements, and you cannot suffocate a longtail
I'll tell you
duck
what
as
does
far as
work
I
on
can
that.
tell.
There's a carpenter clamp. The biggest carpenter clamp you can buy. They're about this long.
yeah.
You clamp
We're
it
gonna
down.
edit this for animal cruelty stuff. But go
Oh no,
ahead.
it's not animal cruelty.
Okay.
It's the same
no
way.
different than suffocating them. You just clamp it on the bird and you set it off to the side, and that bird's dead. Suffocates.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's an old squaw or what it is. It works.
I probably just didn't wait long enough. I was like,
Yeah,
dude,
you
get
wear
that
out.
shit
Your
back.
hands get tired.
You
Yeah.
put that clamp on this arm right here. Within a second, you can't feel your finger.
You lose your fingers.
And
I
that-
carry
there's
that
no duck that can
You
handle
lose them
that.
completely. So no deer hunting for you guys.
No.
So I can't I'm one of my sponsors is Hancock Seed, and we have our own deer food plot mix,
Oh,
but
really?
we can't advertise that here.
I want.
Well,
a
you
deer
guys
hunt.
could.
Connor
what's that?
wants to go.
I want a deer hunt. At least shoot something to eat.
Nobody should deer hunt, but we all get addicted with it eventually.
Well, you can talk
so-
about those. Those are all state confiscations.
Yeah.
Are they? Yeah. So they're
They're
talking
giants.
about mounts on the wall that are state. Some of those are really. That's a weird.
Yeah.
Lots of little holes and antlers mount there. So, but all right, we're gonna run our Hancock Seed ad, and then we'll be right back.
All right.
It is months until planting season, but your vision is already clear. The land is your passion, and Hancock Seed has your back. You plan food plots to feed and attract game in ways that matter for months. Live on your land with Hancock Seed. Today you plan, tomorrow you harvest. With Hancock Seed, you get family farm faith nearly a century in the making. Hancock Seed has partnered with Foul Weather to produce 3 distinct seed blends. The Northern Deer Food Plot Mix, a proven combination that keeps deer coming all year round. The Southern Waterfowl Mix for carbohydrate-driven ducks. And the Northern Waterfowl Mix, built to succeed even in the toughest summers. Hancock Seed specializes from turf to plow and beyond. Find them today at hancockseed.com. That's hancockseed.com.
Let's jump back in. Do you want to do the duck duel challenge and see where we land?
We can.
Yeah, let's give it a go. So it's just like over unders for any betting game. You don't win anything. You can't win anything because I legally can't have anybody win anything.
Right.
So, but it's basically like harvest from last year. If I'll give you a number, and if you think it's over or under, and those numbers haven't come in yet. That's from all the harvest survey
Right.
stuff. And then the population survey things will do like May ponds or like other breeding waterfowl stuff. So I'm only going to do one. So I think what we're going to do is a consensus among the team of 3.
Okay.
Right? Is the best way to do it. So if
I don't got an opinion.
well, you have to, because if they disagree, somebody's got to be the tiebreaker, Connor. So we need 3 people. So yeah, I'm trying for I figured like family strife would make the episode better. But
Oh, we got a lot of that.
every family does,
Oh,
man.
I know.
Every family does. You guys are a good group, though, honestly. So any family that sticks together and does stuff like this, it's so rare nowadays. It's good to see. We don't get as many applicants for wildlife program stuff that are even hunters anymore as we ever were,
I
as
can't
we did
believe
before.
I did natural resource management.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I did too. Yeah, And then you still switched back to bird stuff, so good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did forestry and then decided that ducks were way more fun. So, all right, number 1 is Arkansas mallard harvest from last year. The over-under is 500,000 birds, and that's about, what the year before was. More or less, over-under.
Last year,
Last season.
more.
We're at more. What's the rationale? Just a little colder year, or?
Yeah, the birds, I think those birds ultimately ended up down there. Whereas they typically, the last few years, they haven't needed to be down there, they could have stayed right up here.
Yeah. I mean, there are a few cold, like, we heated, I was still burning firewood in May.
Yeah, it was awful.
It was bad.
This is the worst winter.
October to May.
I've been around a lot of winters. This is the worst one I've seen that I can remember.
Well, we talked about it ahead of time, too, is like, it's not demeaning to folks in the South. I lived in the South, I've lived in the North, I'm from the North. But, like, the concept of how much weather we have, like, I will post on social media pictures of me plowing snow, and you can't see my mailbox. And they're like, yeah, no, that doesn't even compute, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, how do you even do that? And you just go to work. Like, my wife gets up in the morning and takes out the Subaru Outback, and there's no sponsorship. That'd be amazing if there was, but there is no sponsorship there. But she's from Canada. She just drives to the gym at like 5 a.m. in the dark in the middle of winter. Like, what you do.
Can't stop.
So
2 years ago, we were walking in waders across the field, and we had snow up to our chest. And we're both 6.
waders
We had to wear waders around this building because there was
around
got-
the building because
We
there was
got
so
what?
6 feet of snow in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, you guys are north. You're in the snow belt more than we are. Even I'm only an hour away from you, and definitely you guys are more in the snow belt.
But as equally as important as that is the fact that mallards and black ducks and a few other ducks will stay around in those conditions.
Yep.
I mean, they can't grasp that either, can they?
Well, that's one of the things I get into is there's a study of band recoveries by a friend of mine, Heath Hagee, and he listens to this all the time, and we've had this discussion, so it's fine to talk about it. Dr. Heath Hagee works at for Prairie Pothole Joint Venture, Fish and Wildlife Service employee. Great guy, good friend. Disagree with him on this 100%. They did a study where they looked at band recoveries and how much they've shifted north over time. So they're looking at, like, have band recoveries shifted north? Like, that would mean that weather is causing band recoveries to happen further north.
Yeah, okay.
But when season closes in New York, Rip, are there black ducks and mallards still here?
Yeah.
Do some of them have bands on them?
Oh, yeah.
Can they get shot?
No.
And there's actually, he's like, well, there can't be like 1 million mallards north of where they can get shot when season's, I'm like, heck yeah, there are. There's a lot, and over time, if it's getting warmer, the likelihood of more of those birds being north is greater. Yeah. And so if you've seen a little bit of a shift north in where bands are recovered in winter, that shift is conservative. It's got to be further north than that because there's still an F-ton of mallards that are in Minneapolis and Detroit and Buffalo and Syracuse that can't get shot. So you can never detect that much of a shift. So I think that shift is much more than what we think it is.
Yeah.
Our season up here ends, but
January.
The season down there doesn't end until the end of January, late January.
Mm-hmm.
So even if the conditions up here continue to deteriorate as they do in January, those birds would have migrated to the south.
But probably mid-latitudes, and some of those are closed still.
Yeah.
15 January.
They're not getting
you know?
the days to kill them.
They're not.
You know what I'm saying? They don't. You need 60 days to kill a lot of bands. If the mallards show up there 15 days left of the season, you only have 15 days to get a band.
And that's another thing they didn't put in there was actually like, when was the band recovered?
Yeah.
Because I think it's not that if it was in what latitude, but I think those bands are being recovered later and later in season too.
Well,
right?
why
Like
is it
if it does happen?
Why is it that mallards?
We do have to get through this. There's 10 questions here, but it's good.
Why is
really
it that
appreciate
mallards and
this.
black ducks have developed this? Maybe it's not. Maybe they've always had it, but this tolerance of ice and snow and cold, and most other ducks have not. You know, other than maybe.
No, they're just big. They're just big beasts that can store fat. That's
You
largely
think
what
it's
it
just,
is.
it's that simple?
And they're multifaceted on what they eat.
So it's
as
always been
well.
like that?
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
then that period of time that we went through when we had no cold weather, which was the 5 years before the last 2,
Yeah.
we've had 2 years of decent winter.
Mm-hmm.
5 years before that, there was none. Those birds just stayed further north.
Yep.
But is there any data that would show that in the years when we have a severe winter, that they do go further south?
Yeah.
There is a lot of data
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah, definitely. And telemetry stuff's starting to show that too, right? It's variable though, and it's hard to put enough telemetry units on ducks. I always say this, like, you can have at your location a ton of birds, and try to think about this. The numbers of birds at your location might not be representative of the satellite telemetry units on ducks that we're tracking, because we just aren't tracking enough ducks to understand the total population and where they're at, right?
Yeah.
Like you'd have to have probably 10,000 of these GPS units on ducks to actually represent what people are seeing on the landscape. Are those individual ducks telling you about how ducks move in general with habitats and such? Yes. But for you, the duck hunter, whether you're seeing increases and decreasing numbers of ducks, it's kind of hard to tease out with only like 150, 200, 500 ducks tagged.
I got one more question.
There's a lot of variation there. In
What
those
happened to
birds.
the in your opinion, to the Louisiana mallards?
They're further north.
By that big a number? I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I just read those numbers the other day, and I can't remember what they are. You might remember those. But the difference between the harvest of mallards this year versus 20 years ago is hundreds of thousands.
One of the things you have to understand is beyond the weather, and in no way do I ever say that it's only weather that's affecting this, that the mid latitudes were completely impoverished of wetlands. We had pretty much drained everything. We hadn't restored stuff yet at that point, and we put a lot of wetlands back on the landscape.
In
that
the
should
last
be
20
there.
years or 30
Yeah,
years, have we?
Heck yeah, a
Okay,
lot.
That's a good explanation.
Tens of thousands, and hundreds of thousands of acres.
That's a good
And it's gotten
explanation.
milder. So what do? They settle into wetlands and they don't have to go anywhere.
They don't have to go that far.
Yeah. So it's a combination.
Yeah.
It's definitely a combination. But like if it still got cold, those wetlands would freeze and they would go south. So it's a combination of those two things. I mean, last year in the really dry, here's what I think for Louisiana, from what I can tell, they got really quiet on social media in like Christmas to January.
When the birds showed up.
I don't know that they were shooting a lot of mallards, but they shoot ducks.
Yeah, I know they shoot
Yeah.
ducks.
And Louisiana still shoots every single year more ducks than the whole entire country of Canada. Number 2 is total duck population in the traditional survey area, so that's the mid-continent, for this coming year is 32 million. So has the population gone up or gone down for this year?
I think it's gonna go up.
I just read this. I think they came out with that data
No, that
today.
was just North Dakota.
Oh, that was, okay.
Just North Dakota.
Yeah.
And the traditional survey area is a big place.
It's big. Okay.
So
It's
Connor
hard to
says
guess.
down still.
I'm going to say down.
Okay.
I'm saying up.
So we're at down though.
What do
Okay,
you guys?
'cause
Let's sit down. All right.
Yeah?
Sit down.
Yeah. It's a toss up right now. There's been a lot of rain. We'll see what happens with production, etc. I mean, production doesn't matter in those numbers, but it depends on who settled and when that water was there. But it seemed like water was a little better, but who knows? Those birds also have to come back from the south to even show up. So here's one for you. Mallard population in the eastern survey area, so our mallards in the Atlantic Flyway, estimated abundance 1 million. Did they go up this year, breeding wise, or down?
I'm going to go with up, I guess.
All right. I'll go.
You got outvoted, by the way, Matt, even if you were going to say down, so everybody says up. I've been seeing more mallards in like traditional, like wetland beaver pond areas
Well,
than
that's
I've
what
seen
I've had 'em.
before.
I live on a pond. It's not a beaver. Well, no, it's not a beaver pond, but it's like a beaver pond. And I've had there's mallards sitting there right now, which is highly unusual for this time of year to have
Yeah.
mallards visible to me.
Usually I just see them in like Skinny Atlas Lake and cottages and places like that, but I've been seeing them, not just in the city of Syracuse and elsewhere, but
We
on
actually,
the wetlands. So
the other thing about us is we actually do everything we can not to shoot a mallard.
Yeah.
We work very diligently at not shooting them.
well, I work really hard to put as many greenheads in my freezer every single year as I can because I have a sweet charcoal, like one of those Weber cooking recipes that's to die for, and everybody, all my neighbors are like, "When are you doing duck again?" So I gotta pile them on. All right, Louisiana total duck harvest for this year, 1.3 million. Louisiana.
Jesus, that's a lot of ducks. There ought to be a law against that. That's 3 times what we shoot, I think. You're asking whether it's going to be up or not?
Is it going to be above or below 1.3 million for Louisiana for last year? Last year.
Compared to last year.
So no, last year's harvest.
Okay.
Is it going to be up? Is it going to be greater or less than 1.3 million? And 1.3 is about what the year before that was. Yeah.
All right, I'm saying up.
I'll say up.
There we go. Total mallard harvest for Louisiana is the next one. Same question, but just mallards. 70,000.
Less. Down.
You think they shot less last year? Okay. All right, all 3 of them said less. Oh boy. This one's a little complex. Immature versus adult mallard age ratios. So, juveniles to adults. In the 25-26 harvest, last year's harvest for South Carolina.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll explain it. 2 immatures to adults. 2 immatures per 1 adult. So here's the thing. Ours typically is like maybe 3 juveniles, 2.5 per adult. When you get down to the south, it actually starts to turn into like 0.8, 0.9 usually. Do you know what South Carolina does?
Because they're dead before they get there?
They're dead. We kill because juveniles are dumb, and we shoot them before they get there. So you change the age ratio by the time they get south.
I believe that.
Do you know what? But 2 immatures per adult in South Carolina seems high, right?
Well, under that, yeah, it does.
So that's from like when you send your wings in, the wing bee thing,
Right.
the parts collection survey. So I will tell you, for South Carolina, it has been as high as 5 immatures per adult.
In South Carolina.
You know why?
Because they produce them, maybe.
What do
They stock them. They stock
The
them.
man's smart. Yes. Yes.
They stock them.
So good, so good, so good. New markdowns up to 70% off are at Nordstrom Rack stores now. Stock up and save big on shoes, tops, dresses, accessories, and more must-haves for summer. Join the Nordy Club to unlock exclusive discounts, shop new arrivals first, and more. Plus, buy online and pick up at your favorite Rack store for free. Great brands, great prices. That's why you rack.
So this is all about like how many game farm mallards did South
That's
Carolina
what
release
the
last
question
year?
is. How much do they raise? Yeah.
So I don't know what it's going to be, but it's a fun conversation piece, honestly. So
I'm guessing that they are stocking more. So the sex ratio is going to be higher.
So it'd be over for immatures.
Over.
Yeah. Age ratios. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in too.
Even though,
in.
what's the guy's name that does is
Dominic.
Dominic. Even though Dominic may have gone down there and scared those guys into stocking less.
We will not talk about my PhD student who is working on mallard genetics right now in the middle of this. California mallard harvest for last year, 150,000. Do you remember anything about the weather in the West?
No, it was dry, wasn't it?
And
At the end.
warm.
Connor, you pick it. I had no idea.
Down.
Okay, we're done.
Under. There you go. All right, May ponds. Everybody's familiar with May ponds and how they do all that stuff. May ponds in kind of that traditional survey area, 4 million. So do we have more water or less water than last year on the prairies?
I saw that. I think I saw it in the Ducks Unlimited magazine or something.
I think the water's up.
In the Midwest?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with that.
You got voted out anyway, so. So Louisiana total duck harvest was 1.3 million. Atlantic flyway total duck harvest, 1.3 million. over under. So
They're asking the entire Atlantic flyway harvest
is 1.3 million.
is under the Louisiana.
Over or under?
It's under Louisiana's.
You think it's under?
Yeah, I do.
I think so too.
Okay, good. Last one. Mississippi flyway total duck harvest 6.4 million. So about 6 times the Atlantic. Over or under? Did they do better as harvest last year or worse? in the
Mississippi flyway? Jesus, I don't know. Over.
That's a lot of ducks.
It's a
That's a
lot of
shitload of
ducks.
ducks.
It's a lot of gumbo, boys. A lot of gumbo. So, all right, over-unders are in for you guys. That one was a little more complicated with a few people here.
We all know that feeling. Every waterfowl hunter knows the feeling. You're motionless in the marsh at first light, watching birds work the spread, hoping this season is as good as the last, hoping that the future has birds working the spread for generations to come. At the Theodore Roosevelt Conservation Partnership, the mission is simple: to guarantee all Americans quality places to hunt and fish. For waterfowl hunters, that means safeguarding habitat and migration corridors and creating more places to hunt, so strong fall flights and good hunting opportunities aren't a thing of the past. As the nation's largest coalition of conservation groups, TRCP brings together hunters, anglers, and conservation partners to make sure the future of waterfowl hunting stays strong. Learn more today and join the TRCP by visiting trcp.org.
All right, and we're back. Matt, what's next? Got the taxidermy business. Connor's going to take it over, potentially. But what's on the horizon for you guys?
Maybe some
Rip's
trips.
a young buck.
Yeah,
So let's go with Rip first. What do you got?
What have I got?
What's
Horizon?
next?
Not much. I hope to hunt again this fall. I've hunted every year, and I hope
How many years have you been duck hunting?
I started when I was about 16.
he's 80.
I'm 80, so it's a lot of years. 64 years.
Did you get to the point when you were 50 and realize that you had more years of duck hunting behind you than you likely had in front of you?
Never thought about it.
Just powered through.
I've never thought about it.
I like that.
I probably hunt. How many days did we hunt last year? I bet you we hunted 40 days.
40,
Maybe even more than that. But the fact that I'm still able to do it is amazing to me, and I hope to be able to do that another year. But I don't hold hope out for much longer. You know, I would like to go on a trip, but trips are getting difficult for me. But we've made a bunch of trips to Texas. We've had some great shoots in Texas.
Yeah.
A friend of mine who hunts there every year.
Coastal Texas, or?
Yep.
Yeah.
Corpus Christi and Brownsville.
Yeah.
And
I got a guy for you to go with if you want one. Yeah.
down there.
Mm-hmm.
A friend
Prior
of mine-
grad student of mine. Works for Delta Waterfowl. Also runs a guide service.
But Matt wants to do something different. I mean, down there was.
I'd like to go to North Dakota or South Dakota. I've never been there, so I'd like to do that. I'd like to go to California.
I'd like to go to California myself.
Yeah.
I've never hunted there.
I'd like to hunt in North Carolina. I want to go down after the rails. We got to set up something.
Oh, clappers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could stack them up down there. I mean, you could shoot like 15, and the guy we were talking to.
And nobody's.
guys,
It's
nobody's doing it, and
No, are they poke boating still?
yeah,
There's got to be
he
still
says
that.
You get them. He goes guaranteed if you go at the right time.
Do they move at all, or do they just live there? I don't know.
think there's year-round birds down there, but there are definitely some migrating down through there.
They move through
Yeah.
as well. That'd be fun.
Yeah, we've
So-
never shot a clapper.
We shot a Virginia rail, I think it was October 31st up here, which is late for them.
Super late.
Super bird. I shot it with a shotgun at 10 feet.
Blew it
It's
up.
mounted right over
Never
there.
touched it. You know what you got to do? Here's your canoe. You shoot right here. The
Why do
biggest
you
splash you've ever seen.
The splash kills them.
The splash kills them.
No,
It's
you
so
just go
close.
like this. My brother was like there, and I go, Mark. I go, I'm shooting this. He didn't even mark. It was so red. Mark didn't even know what it was. I go, bang like this, and it's just water. And the bird disappears, and I go, Mark, go in there and see if it's in there, because I was all nerved up, and I go, just tell me it's there. Just tell me it's there. He goes, I've never seen anything like this. He picked it up. It had one bullet hole in it. Those bullets ricochet.
It was like they ricochet off the water.
Right off the water. That's
It
how
was a
you
luck
get 'em.
shot, but
I do it. How many times have I done it?
he does it all the
I
time.
Scare
do
him
it
to
all
death.
the time. You never shoot at a rail.
You don't
straight
shoot
on.
at them straight
Never,
on.
ever. You always shoot low. You always shoot low, way out in front. And the bullet,
And skip the pellets out.
Yeah, and
it's enough. It's like a grouse. If you look at them wrong, they just die.
I shoot
So,
a Browning
don't take
shotgun.
much.
I shoot
No.
a Browning shotgun with a full choke. So
Yeah, a 12.
yeah, and I shot
Not
that
these
rest.
days. He
No.
used
That's what I did.
That's we shot that with. I know it because we
I
were
shot
hunting
one
ducks.
this year with a full choke.
We were hunting ducks, but now they bought a specialty gun. They got a little 410.
I got a 410.
I really appreciate what you guys do. You're deeply embedded in what I call Duck Country USA. I feel like it's a great fraternity, and we should all continue to stay in it, work for it, have our opinions. We got to meet in the middle somewhere and push forward, though.
Yeah, you have to. You
So-
have to.
What I like to say is if people have questions about ducks, we see a lot of ducks here.
Yeah.
My father, my brother, Connor, and I know a lot about plumage and what bird is this and that. And there's a lot of people that don't know what we know.
So how do they get a
Because
hold
we're
of you?
24 hours a day.
Yeah.
I tell people, text me or call me anytime, and I'll give you answers. If I don't know it, I'll find out. Because most of the people don't know what they're shooting most of the time.
And you got a webpage. It's just
And
Toad Harbor
so my guys
Taxidermy.
that come in here, I said, if
We
you
got
ever
Facebook and Instagram.
You got
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, Toad Harbor Taxidermy.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
same and everything. Okay.
and
there
if
you
I
go.
say if you shoot something you don't know, send it to me.
Matt, Rip, Connor, thanks for being with us on the Foul Weather Podcast.
Yeah, this has been
Really
fun.
appreciate you guys.
Great time.
And we got how we can get a hold of Toad Harbor Taxidermy right on the north shore of Oneida Lake. So hopefully bringing birds back to you guys sometime soon when I get my next target species, and we'll go from there. So, all right, folks, thanks for listening. And as always, may your skies be filled and shoot straight, my friends.
Shoot straight.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistant's assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
The right window treatments change everything. Your sleep, your privacy, the way every room looks and feels. At Blinds.com, we've spent 30 years making it surprisingly simple to get exactly what your home needs. We've covered over 25 million windows and have 50,000 5-star reviews to prove we deliver. Whether you DIY it or want a pro to handle everything from measure to install, we have you covered. Real design professionals, free samples, zero pressure. Right now, get up to 45% off site-wide, plus get a free professional measure at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions apply.
There's a new way to Sweet Green. Meet Wraps. Handheld, hearty, and made for life on the move. With bold, chef-crafted flavors, fresh ingredients, and over 40 grams of protein, they're built to satisfy without slowing you down. Try Wraps today in the app or at order.sweetgreen.com. Available at all participating locations.